like, hey guys, welcome to another episode of Analytical Fanboys. This is the podcast where the hosts of Modular Media discuss a piece of media that one of them wanted to. And this month we're being subjected to a Scooby-Doo thing. So I'm doing the world's worst Shaggy expressions. Joinings! I'm the Vacuuminator. And I'm joined, of course, by Boingo Rider.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm holding up a gun. You can't see it because this is an audio podcast, and that is a visual gag, but I am holding up a gun.
Oh, okay. Well, Snowcone83 is also here. Snowcone, what are you holding up? Nope. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Buster Corp, you made this possible. Please explain yourself.
I honestly forgot why I decided to do this. I legit forgot why I decided to pick this one. And just kind of like, why not?
Okay, well, do you want to at least explain what we're talking about this month for the listeners?
Talking about a internet-based comic called Scoob and Shag, a parody series, I'd say, of the Scooby-Doo characters and other characters that show up. I don't know how to describe them without getting into spoilers. I guess
This is classic cartoon Tyson.
Yeah, very much like, what if we took classic cartoons and threw them into raunchy battle shonen?
All right. Well, let's get some quick non-spoiler thoughts. And just for clarification's sake, for the purposes of this podcast, we only read part 1, issues 1 through 90. So Buster, I guess upon this read through, how you feeling about this book?
Still really good. Still really hype. You know, I still like it a lot. I'm just like curious about what you all think. You know.
All right. Well, let's get into that. Boingo, had you ever read this before, and how did you like it upon this reading?
I think I was the only other person in this podcast who has had experience with Scoob and Shag before Buster brought it to us as a whole. I had actually kept up with it for a while until like it's after what we read, but like the big fight scene with like a bunch of the characters, including like Foghorn Leghorn, a bunch of other fuckers.
Yeah.
Which is,
didn't you just say non-spoiler opinion?
Okay, look. It's cartoons in general. You can just say any character, and you can say any character, and like 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be in there somewhere.
That's even more spoilers, man. You just fucking laying them on.
I can't believe Boingo just spoiled the entire MCU.
Yeah.
A Scrimblow will walk out of the shadows. But it is entirely a weird metatextual comedy thing. Like, the comedy is funny, and then there is a part of you that just like you have to know the inner workings of Western animation, the connections of all the business, to truly get all of the joke.
Yeah.
You know?
Because like, if we made... Oh, in fact, you say it before we delve into spoilers.
Well, Snowcone and I still have to give our spoiler-free thoughts. So, Cody, go for it.
I am really enjoying it. I also forgot that we were only supposed to go to 90, so...
You read the whole thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it's only, 60 more chapters.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 130 or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah, it was pretty interesting. Like, there, at times, I might have felt like, this is a little too on the nose, or it's a little silly. But, like, it never felt like it was really, I don't know, man. Like, as it went on, it kind of just, like, I love how, like, the art style really changed. Like, it really started to evolve.
The best thing about the art style is it's distinctly its own art style, but every character feels on model for their own universe, from their own piece of media.
Yeah, again with the spoilers though, but yeah.
Well, I guess just for me, this is the most old school Tumblr thing I have seen in ages.
Yeah.
And like it was almost nostalgic for me, having like never actually read this before. I've known about it for a really long time. I found out about it through B-Mask's first Scooby-Doo video, and I was like, that sounds cool, I should read that. And then I never did. And reading through it, I like it was a bit of like a culture shock of like, oh yeah, there used to be so much stuff like this for the first like 10 or 20 chapters. But beyond that point, I did actually get into it a little bit. I do really like sort of the lore and the way the world is structured. I think it's all pretty well thought out, at least so far, up to number 90. And I do find it really fun and interesting, even though it is just like total classic fanfic stuff, to see like so many classic Western cartoon characters and all their terminology put within what is basically a shonen manga context.
It's not just a shonen manga context. Vac, congratulations, you watched the parody of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh yeah, I actually screen capped. There's a panel where I was like, oh, this is just JoJo right now. Where like the first time you see Bugs approaching a bunch of characters, there's just squiggly lines, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's total JoJo. I mean, like the entire mechanics feel inspired by JoJo.
Isn't the mechanics less? It's also similar to Hunter x Hunter, and then
I haven't read Hunter x Hunter, so
okay.
The mechanics gave me JoJo vibes with like the naming conventions of like these are named powers that we can use and stuff that are references to stuff.
I like stuff.
Yeah, like references to animation, Western animation specifically.
Well, it's television broadcasting in general.
Yeah, you got with like the static stuff.
Frame by frame though.
Yeah, frame by frame is my favorite one. That's the one Popeye uses, I think. Yeah, Popeye's one of my favorites in here.
Popeye's so fucking cool in this book.
Because basically they went, like, that's the weird thing, is a lot of the characters, it's just like, they took the logical extreme of what they are in their original context and was just like, okay, but what if we just took that serious and made it an action thing of like...
What if they were in the shonen equivalent of like a space opera where everybody has like a big past?
Yeah. Like Shaggy has a whole clone saga.
Of course, him and Scooby are mind wiped for a good chunk of the comic. And Kermit is just a little guy.
Yeah. Honestly, Kermit has like one of the best arcs in this book. Like of just him like initially just being like, I'm vibing, and then he just being horrified by the horrors of war and having to like step up.
Yeah, he learns that like friendship is important and you should go help your buds.
Yeah, which, that's a good arc for Kermit to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the thing, is like, we call it big, weird, dumb fan fiction. It is entirely in character for a lot of these people.
Oh yeah, I could see this being like a big budget animated, all of us companies are going to come together and just put our dicks on the table type of thing. If we lived in a perfect world.
Instead we get shit like
Space Jam
2 and frickin' Ready Player One.
Surprised you didn't go for Chipmunks.
I completely forgot Chip and Dale was a thing, honestly.
Oh my god.
It was that bad. Thanks for reminding me of that, Vac.
You're welcome. Thank you for making me read this. This was alright. I liked it.
Yeah, Courage and Swiper get some cool shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have their own like little subplot going on for a while.
Yeah, it's really cool that they even get like a recap arc, like little recap section of just like here's what's happening so far,
Yeah, which again feels very Tumblr comic-y, because this is a Tumblr comic back from the heyday of Tumblr comics, where it's just like this has been going for a while and it's gotten a little out of hand. This is for all this one's just for all the new people that have come on since we've gotten into it, man.
Yeah. Also, just Scooby's middle finger gag is pretty good.
I mean, all the like. We say how, like, oh, it gets serious and it gets really intense in tone. The logo for the Space Federation they're all a part of is still a dick and balls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The whole, and like the early issues are like the most gag-a-day stuff I have seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's just literally just gags. And I like how, like, I did link a dub. The dub actually used that as, like, a little opening credit sequence of, like, here's one of the gags, credit. One of the gags, credit. As, like, a way to, like, set the tone. which is a really clever way of using those like gag-a-days for like a adaptation thing. So kudos to them.
Also, half the gags, what if he said fuck?
Yeah, and it's still charming. I don't know how they did it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I will say though, just to like not make this a total love fest, I wasn't super into like when it got into the more like horrific scenes where people were just getting straight up mutilated all the time. I get what it's doing for the story, and I appreciate it. It was just like, oh, this isn't really.
I mean, it's the same. It's the same joke as having a classic cartoon character say "fuck." It's just like a cartoon character shouldn't be doing this, yet they are.
It's somehow just not as fun for me, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying like that's the reason.
It reminded me a lot of the SpongeBob manga.
Oh yeah, the SpongeBob anime.
I was thinking of Eldritch Horror Garfield, actually.
Yeah.
There's a couple scenes in that where it's like that's pretty Eldritch Horror-y.
You know what? I find it's just like Garfield shows up in here. He is an Eldritch Horror in this. I think that's like it's a little refreshing for Garfield not to be the victim of that.
Oh, normal Garfield. Wow, I forgot about this.
He's just a little guy.
Yeah. A lot of little guys in this. A lot of little guys get fucking obliterated.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have other points?
There's other points.
None.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for tuning into our 10-minute podcast, everybody.
No, like there's some things. It's like that's something interesting. Is like Bugs is a major player. Mickey Mouse is a major player.
Yeah, those are like the two pillars of Western animation.
But all the other people who are kind of stuck in the middle of their two extreme like places in this war are not animated by Warner Brothers or Disney.
Yeah, you got some Nickelodeon characters.
It's Hanna-Barbera, it's old school MGM, it's Fleischer, and it's kind of interesting. Like I think that is an unintended meta text thing.
I did have a bit of a scrimble moment when I saw Betty Boop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Betty Boop's husband.
Yeah.
I still haven't read that one.
Which was like another of these wacky cartoon characters in situations they shouldn't be in webcomic on Tumblr at the time.
Yeah.
But instead it was like this comedic soap opera with a dude and his Betty Boop wife.
Yeah, I wanted to read that to prepare for this episode, but I didn't get around to it.
Mm-hmm. This whole like experience of rereading it though did kind of like take me on a bit of a trip of like, oh man, remember when like so much of this was like a pseudo obsession of yours? You would like get home from whatever it was you were doing that day and you would immediately go and check to see if any of these Tumblrs had updated. Like, remember fucking Ask This Character blogs?
Oh yeah.
I think they still exist. It's just not as like prevalent or mainstream as they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never really did that.
Wow.
That's fair. I'm not saying it's like it's a universal experience. It's an experience some people had.
Yeah.
I will say, like, as I'm like rereading it, like just like for fresh, and like after seeing Spider-Verse and just looking through panels, I'm like, man, like when people do shit with like crazy, I don't know why it's giving me Spider-Verse vibes. Maybe it's the power shit. Maybe it's just it's animated characters. That
maybe
like,
it's just you just saw Spider-Verse for the second time.
Yeah, or just I don't know.
You know what, Buster? It's giving real Boss Baby vibes.
God damn it! But like the point is like both use these like iconic characters in just like in unique like ways to like the meta comment without getting into the sequel Spider-Verse spoilers. Just a bit of meta and so just I guess just meta with cartoons.
I do love their full commitment to like Scooby's goofy ass speech impediment in this as well. Like in the early issues, there's bits where you'll see like signage, and it's in his speech pattern as well. Like I'm looking at a panel where he's in the mystery machine, and it's spelled like mystery machine.
Yeah. And like also just the initial gag of just using different Z words for Shaggy, like Zordon Scoob.
Yeah.
Oh, Songo Scoob.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I also thought it was pretty charming. It was definitely enjoyable to read through in a single sitting, like I did.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's
I
how
mean,
I first read it in a single sitting.
I did that. I did that as well. I literally got to work on a Friday, and I was like, "Oh, there's no one here," because it's Friday and there's no classes on Friday,
damn,
and
you
it's
fucked off
the
for like an
summer.
hour at work.
Yeah, I just sat down in my little janitor's closet, and I was just like, "It's time to read Scoob and Shag. Let's do this." I mean, during the
it's
summer and the holidays, it's very easy for janitors to do that. I'll say.
it's very easy to binge it just because it is formatted like a webtoon, like a webcomic. So it's just like a panel per page, and you just get that one big, great, crisp art words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the art I don't know if it's like if it's just getting new artists on board or if it's just them just like improving or if it's just that the scene requires it to be improved, but the art gets like really really darn good from what it starts out as.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I do
does.
really appreciate that the guy like didn't do the typical Tumblr artist thing of like, oh, I'm gonna wait and wait and wait, and oh, look how good I can actually be, and I'm gonna save that because that was a lot of work. No, he levels up, and then he keeps everything in that level until the next big jump ahead.
I mean, you can tell from the early Gag-A-Day stuff that it's very clear the person who draws this has a solid grasp on anatomy, panel composition,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Like, they know the ideas are in their head and they just improve their skills. So it starts off at like a good solid 6, and then it becomes a solid 8, and then a 9, then a 10, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a shonen manga where the main characters are growing in power throughout the story.
Wait, that's exactly what it is. You fool.
I've
No,
been
we
fooled
lost him.
again.
Won't get fooled again.
And I
I'm
do like
fool
how,
for
like,
no-
actually, like, because this is a comic in black and white, I love how, like, all the only bits of color is Mickey's eyes.
Oh,
It's whenever certain
And
ballyhoo
Bugs.
powers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mickey's eyes, Bug's eyes, and Shaggy's power up.
I forgot their
Yeah.
word for stands is ballyhoo.
Yeah.
That's such a good word. It's such a nonsense word, but it works so well.
hmm
But it's like, hey, it's another word for films, so a kind of film, though.
hmm I mean, it's either you go with that or Flicker Show.
Yeah.
What'd
is
you
a-
call me?
I called you a flick-a-dick.
That is a term I literally only know from having watched The Green Mile.
Yeah. Also, like, speaking of naming, like, they went way too hard with, like, some of the chapter names. I mean, The Coward King. That's so raw.
That is Linkara story arc title levels of I am trying so damn hard right now.
Yeah, but it all works. It still works. It's a good thing.
I mean, hey, sometimes you gotta put effort into the shit post.
Yeah, and like I think we're safe to say this has gone beyond shitpost, especially with how successful it is.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's just like it's a weird concept, but it's a fun weird concept, and they're using everything they can to their max limit.
There's
honestly,
a fun... Go.
I was gonna say honestly, it really felt like I don't know. They're just like it's a celebration of like just the cartoon characters people enjoy.
Yeah,
I mean, we've
It's-
seen stuff that looks akin to this, like on T-shirts and mashups and stuff like that. And it's just fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
it's like taking those like T-shirts.
This is
Uh,
T Fury the comic.
Yeah, it's just these like funny T-shirts, like with like Shaggy smoking weed, but it kind of goes raw. But they just made an entire comic out of it.
You know what this feels like? This feels like someone makes a hardcore AMV to Linkin Park for Scooby-Doo, and it's 100% serious. It's just like, no, Scooby-Doo.
I could see that.
That is that is something I can
Also,
definitely...
I just like someone
ahead.
commissioned the artist to draw Kamen Rider Geo in the credits.
There's several common writers in the
Yeah,
credits.
no, there's a Kabuto in the later chapters.
Yeah, I never noticed that until like this read through. Honestly, it kind of shocked me.
And if you pay attention every once in a while, you see B-Mask.
Yeah, because someone paid to draw P-Mask and it's great. Yeah.
Here's the thing. The name under B-Mask is Brandon, and I'm going like, could it have been B-Mask?
Yeah, was it Brandon Mask all along?
I don't know. He seemed pretty serious about killing that guy.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I do love what like any kind of like Tumblr or artist like being like, hey, if you pledge enough to the Patreon, I'll draw a character in my style, and so it just leads to all these like JoJos and Kermits and all freaking Kingdom Hearts and Turtles and all these cool shits. Also makes the credits very long towards the end of the chapters.
Oh yeah, there was a point where I was just like, this is a lot. This is this is taking a minute to get through because I actually want to look at all these.
Yeah.
I mean, it just shows the dedication that the people who are reading it are having with this fun concept, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just looking at one of these now, and there's fucking Helga, there's B-Mask, there's Courage the Cowardly Dog is a cheeseburger, there's Jet from Cowboy Bebop. Like there's some crazy cool all
Jet
over the
pops
place
up
shit
a
in here.
lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fucking Jeremy from Code Lyoko is in this one, and Kamen Rider Burke is right next to him.
What? Which chapter is that one?
86.
Okay, I'm getting close because
I mean, there's a whole panel where Shaggy's looking at a picture of Goku.
Yeah.
Like,
there's multiple panels of that.
like, here's the thing: this is like Tails got trolled, but with like really well done, executed art.
Yeah. I still haven't read Tails Got Trolled. I really want to, but like it's just I haven't.
Because like that's like pure absurdist comedy, kind of like understanding the DeviantArt fan comic thing, but taking it serious, like all that kind of stuff. And this is like that, but let's actually tell a compelling story and lull you in with this goofiness.
Mm-hmm. Also, further down on this credits page, right next to each other in a row, there is Sasuke, a Homestuck character, and a 2003 Ninja Turtle. Like, what a Sentai that is.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Sasuke, I will say that the brief moment where it started to feel like Naruto, for some reason, it kind of just like was like, I wasn't really taken by that.
I mean, like it is a very long battle arc.
That might have been actually after I was supposed to read.
Oh, is that the one like? Is that where like Shaggy gets good and then he shows up and tries to help Scoob for a minute?
I think.
Yeah. Like there's like it does fall into some shonen traps of it like being like how's it? Like it just the battle's lost for chapters and chapters and chapters, and that's just kind of how shonen is formatted in general. So
we gotta power up the spirit bomb, guys.
Yeah, and not even just that, but just the battle, the battle itself, just like the fisticuffs takes a while. Like I love JoJo, but I can acknowledge some of those battles go on a bit long. Like that Dio versus Jotaro fight at the end of part 3 is like 16 chapters, and that kind of falls under that towards the end of this first arc. Yeah. Also, I love how like they drew Kamina from Gurren Lagann and Mob from Mob Psycho on top of each other.
Hey.
I mean,
there is a direct Naruto homage in issue 89 where they're doing the tree branch running thing.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta if you're gonna have like a big shonen battle of everyone getting together, you gotta.
Yeah. God, so many episodes of Naruto where it's just like scenes upon scenes of characters having conversations while just running on tree branches.
I think that's more of an anime thing because they have to pad it out.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It's just like that. I'm more so engaged with the Naruto anime as a kid, so
yeah.
I remember a lot of that shit.
You were a fighting dreamer.
I certainly was.
Yeah, freaking reminds me of when Disney XD had Shippuden for some reason.
Oh yeah. And I was like, what? He's saying damn it on a Disney show? What?
Disney had a weird anime phase, man. It was strange. They kind of like over it now. They still kind of have it because the freaking current Yu-Gi-Oh dub is on Disney XD for some reason. I don't know.
I mean, if you're outside of America, Disney Plus has a lot of anime.
Yeah.
It's just not in America.
I'm just looking at these credits pages. This dude or this gal is such a good artist.
Yeah, like they did Megas XLR, the mech from that.
Yeah,
it's Megas.
Megas, okay.
Also, fucking Yui from K-On! Is in one of these credits pages, and she looks right out of the anime.
Yeah, like very talented fellas.
that's what I was saying. It's like everything feels on model, but in their own style.
Mm-hmm.
Like Popeye looks like Popeye, but it's not. It's a good mix. Good mix.
It's not your Popeye.
This
Not
is
your
a
dad's
grandfather's Popeye.
What do you mean I'm not your Popeye?
You're not my chicken,
I was making a way home reference.
Oh.
and I was making a chicken joke.
Buck, buck.
A yoke.
Hey.
Oh my god. All right, guys, 7 more minutes and we can call it a podcast.
Oh, god damn it. We're
Oh,
really
no.
stretching out. I think we
Oh,
should
man.
just like wrap it up, honestly.
Oh, the shortest
Oh,
analytical
fuck you.
fanboys ever.
This is my fault. I should have picked a more like lengthy subject. That's just
You should have had us read the whole thing.
But then we'd
Yeah,
be ending on a
honestly.
cliffhanger, and
Yeah, well, yeah,
We
it is a cliffhanger. Part 2 ends on a cliffhanger, and it
Okay,
still hasn't
okay,
been resolved.
let's talk about this. For those of us who didn't accidentally read the whole thing, would you read more now?
I mean, I was reading it already. It's just
Yeah, so
All right, fucking I'm gonna peer pressure.
yeah.
had to. But would you, Vac?
I did just say, yeah, I would, peer pressure.
All right, cool.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think this is a lesson in maybe it's neat, can't carry a whole 30-minute podcast, but hey, we still had fun talking about it, I think.
It's also just interesting in the context of how people like recontextualize cartoons. Like we talked about Garfield earlier, but like that's an interesting thing that's just been happening with people going back and reanalyzing like cartoons of their youth. Of like, what if we turn it into a battle shonen? What if we turn Looney Tunes into a fucking Saturday morning action cartoon?
Yeah.
Call it the Lunatics.
Yeah.
Guys, breaking news.
What?
I have just broken a almost 2-year streak of not getting a nosebleed.
Oh,
Oh, nosebleed mid podcast?
I was literally just rubbing my nose and suddenly blood from left nostril. So I have shoved the Kleenex up there and we may now continue with the podcast.
Thanks
But,
for the
like-
update, man.
people like to recontextualize these cartoon characters in interesting ways, and I think that's just
Yeah, it's cool.
it's a reclamation of the culture and content we have and taking ownership of it, you know?
Yeah.
It's what the kids call pretty based.
Yeah.
All right, fuck,
Yes.
Boingo, it's your turn to pick. What are we talking about and why? Next
Okay.
month.
So, first things first, I want to give a little preamp. So far, we have only really done like comics, TV shows, movies, and such. And I was like, okay, well, we're bringing this back, and we have a whole month to dive into a piece of media and really like sink our teeth into it.
He's like, oh no, I'm gonna have to do work.
It's not going to be a ton of work. Oh, come on. It's not that bad. So the idea I had was like, what if we did something else? Not just a TV show or a movie or a comic, but what if we tried doing an episode on a video game? I was like, okay, so what game could we all play that we all can have easy access to? It's not going to be like a pain in the ass to try and get anybody else on board. And then I figured out what it would be. So fellas, in the first age, in the first battle, when the shadows first lengthened, one stood, burned by the embers of Armageddon, his soul blistered by the fires of hell and tainted beyond ascension. He chose the path of perpetual torment. In his ravenous hatred, he found no peace, and with boiling blood, he scoured the umbral plane, seeking vengeance against the Dark Lords who had wronged him. He wore the crown of the Night Sentinels, and those who tasted the bite of his sword named him the Slayer. We're playing 1993 motherfucking Doom, baby.
Okay, I guess we're gonna get lost.
We're playing Doom.
I've literally never played original Doom or any Doom.
I have.
Shit.
I've played every Doom.
Well, you're gonna replay it on whatever difficulty you feel like you want to do it on. So it's easy, medium, difficult, hard, whatever. I'm gonna give you guys the original Doom WAD. Play it on DVD.
Switch.
Is it on Steam?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm giving you a source port, which is like the easiest way I have to play it on PC. which is GZ Doom for people who are on.
It's on everything, by the way.
It's on
so
everything, yeah.
I know. I asked like half jokingly.
And I thought because of it's Doom, I thought a big part of the thing that I think is fascinating and interesting about Doom is the modding scene. So I want to include like a couple important, fun, some of my personal favorite Doom mods that I say you don't have to beat, you don't have to like play it all the way through, but like dip your toe in, mess around in that one, play it around a little bit. There's a couple ones.
Doom?
I am not giving you guys fucking H Doom.
Oh, come on.
I can give you H Doom.
The only thing I'm worried about is getting lost. I can fight, but like
You can
I
get
get
lost
lost
in
in
H-Doom.
Doom easy.
Wait. Are we supposed to like finish the game, or is it just like
first
fuck
3
around
episodes.
as much as you can?
Beat Doom 1 first 3 episodes. That's like 30 levels.
I think you
Okay.
could beat Doom 1. I mean, yeah,
Like I'm not even asking you to do the 4th bonus episode they did after Doom 2.
Oh, okay. So just the first 3 episodes. Okay.
First 3 episodes, so that would be hold on. Knee Deep in the Dead, I think. Oh, hold on. Let me double check.
that's not even going to be a month, though. I could like do that right now.
No.
I haven't been able to play a video game at all for 2 months.
That's the thing. That was my idea of like, okay, it's a nice, easy enough to play game, but then there's also a bunch of mods you can go throughout the month. But also, I wasn't sure how well Vac Buster would be able to handle the game, so I wanted to make sure that there was a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
So
Just that,
Knee Deep in the Dead, The Shores of Hell, and Inferno. And if you want to play Thy Flesh
Inferno.
Consumed, you can if you want to. But like I got a couple mods and ideas that I want to pop in there. Sigil is a important map pack I'll put in there.
Isn't Sigil an entire game or?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's basically
No.
designed as the 5th episode of Doom.
Quick question. Would you recommend I play with a controller or a mouse and keyboard?
Mouse and keyboard.
Could
Son
play
of a bitch.
My balls.
But like I'm saying, you can play it on the easiest difficulty and just like experience it.
Okay.
There's other ones I know that I'm gonna give you guys a certain house, a bunch of shotguns.
Oh, is this fucking Harry Potter?
But like I just want you guys to see Doom. I'm gonna give you guys the original Doom wad, and a copy of GZ Doom, which is a source port. Basically, just real quick, back in 1997, John Carmack just was like, all right, Doom Engine's free and open source, and just people have been working on it ever since.
Oh.
Yep.
Well then.
So yeah,
Yorp.
we're gonna play Doom. I'm gonna give you guys a little zip pack of all the stuff you need, all nice and organized, with a little table of contents.
I will try. Hopefully Street Fighter 6 does distract me.
This will be fun. I don't know. I mean, I watch Civi like on repeat, nonstop.
Oh, as do I.
And I've also like I at this moment have every Doom installed on my PlayStation, like at once, all of them.
Even
I have
64.
I have. They released the Nintendo 64, Doom 64 for PlayStation.
How big is that fucking hard drive?
I have
the original
4
Dooms are like
terabyte.
the original
yeah,
Dooms
they're
are like
not that big.
kilobytes.
Oh.
They're tiny.
Yeah, I think I have was it like 100 and something games installed at once on that thing? It's a 4 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, no, I'll get all the Doom stuff up and ready for you.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Should we
guess
plug our shit?
that's what we'll be discussing for the month of July when we get there in a few weeks.
Good old fashioned Americana fighting demons.
Yeah, but until then, it has been an episode of Analytical Fanboys, a very short one, but a sweet one nonetheless. So let's kick off the plugging and the tugging with the special little guy who made it all possible. Buster Corp, where can people find you out there on the internet?
I have a YouTube channel. I do video analysis on like a lot of things, mostly Toku, but I'm trying to fix that. And also at Twitter, BusterBoy3. You can find whatever shenanigans I'm tweeting, stuff.
All right, cool.
Snowcone, do you have internet location?
I have internet relations
Oh.
with you right now.
Oh, buddy, I'll get you in the private chat in a little bit.
Never underscore robot. Snuck93 on things. That's all I can think of for now. So there you go.
Excellent.
That's all you need.
Boingo, what are your places?
Hey, I'm Boingo. I do a variety of things. I stream on Twitch Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays. I have videos on YouTube at Boingo Writer. I post on a variety of social media platforms at Boingo_Writer on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. You can follow me on Tumblr. You can also join my Discord. We hang out, we chat, we talk about stuff.
And I am the Vacuuminator, the man who changed out the Kleenex in his nose while Boingo was saying all that. You can find my videos, which are things about various things, at youtube.com, at the Vacuuminator. I'm also doing shorts and TikToks now. You can find me on TikTok at the _Vacuuminator. And another place where I'm at the _Vacuuminator is Instagram. I post toy photography there. I'm also on Twitter and Tumblr. Those are kind of just hubs for whatever bullshit I do, and that is at the Vacuuminator on Twitter and thevacuuminator.tumblr.com. But before you go to any of those things, do me a favor and support Modular Media. Give this podcast a like, comment down below with some of your thoughts on Scoob and Shag, and if you're at all hyped to hear us talk about Doom next month, subscribe, ring the bell in order to enable notifications to get all the podcasts we do here as they come out right in your inbox. There's going to be more episodes of Modular Components this month. There's going to be more episodes of Twit this month. There's going to be more episodes of No Prize this month. And there's going to be a brand new special little thing kicking off in a couple of weeks that might just involve myself and Snowcone. So stay tuned for that. You can also find out about everything and anything we're doing on Twitter at the Modular Media, on Tumblr at Modular Media, excuse me, and on Reddit r/Modular Media. But folks, that is it for this episode of Analytical Fanboys. Thank you for hanging out and chatting with a cool thing, about a cool thing with us for a while. I'm starting to get lightheaded. I think it might be from the blood loss, so I'm gonna go to the bathroom and see if I'm actually okay or not. Have a good month, everybody. Bye.